The following game has been rated T for teen by the ESRB for fantasy violence, mild language, and drug references. That means anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Starpoint Gemini Warlords. So the premise of the Starpoint Gemini series is that you are a starship captain doing starship things in a, I guess, far-flung solar system known as Gemini. What makes Starpoint Gemini Warlords different from any other game in the series is that while you are still a starship captain doing starship things, you can also build entire fleets of AI-controlled vessels to do the grunt work for you, lend a hand in large ship-to-ship battles, or just basically fight an entire war by proxy using them as your soldiers. For those who haven't actually seen last episode, or any of the past couple episodes, I managed to complete the campaign and resecure the planet wiping weapons platform that we built, and then our pirate rivals, enemies promptly stole. We stole it back from them, and now it's ours, and we can use it to conquer planets in the name of peace, prosperity, and the Solari Concord. But after that main campaign, a DLC pack started, and we met the Central Worlds Alliance, I believe, a powerful faction in Gemini that up until that point I hadn't actually even heard of. That's what I get for not double-checking the Gemapedia and / the generic lore of the game. But that's my problem, and the CWA, as they are more normally called, set up a trap for us, which we promptly walked into at the Starpoint of Gemini, which is a massive FTL T-gate, which apparently allows people to travel from one solar system to another. And in reactivating the Starpoint and setting off the trap laid for us by the CWA, causes a massive starship to re-enter Gemini, and it is helmed by the so-called Emperor or King of Gemini. I think it goes by Emperor. Unknown to us, apparently the entire system of Gemini was once a monarchy, and apparently stuff happened, people rebelled, and he somehow managed to get stuck in the space between spaces. But he's free now, and he enlists our help to reclaim some of his old territory, a section of territory that's apparently so heavily guarded we can't actually just simply go in and attack the star bases. We have to fight a protracted space campaign against enemy CW fleets, which should weaken the garrisons of the region we're trying to conquer, making them easier to take. And over the course of this, we discovered that the CWA also has their own massive capital vessel, which apparently our dreadnought can't even scratch the hull of. And to counteract this, the Emperor of Gemini points us into the direction of one of his generals, a man who apparently, by all intents and purposes, has gone insane and basically travels the system of Gemini, uh, finding scraps of trash and other junk, refurbishing them, and then selling them off to whoever is willing to pay. Of course, I'm fairly certain he's only playing at being insane, and it's one of those the wise man playing the fool scenarios. But anyway, the Rat Man, as he's taken to calling himself, has built his own massive capital vessel, which for one reason or another he just simply opts to give us, for lack of a better term. We did have to fight off a bunch of enemy combat vessels for it, but apparently he was just a trial, and he wanted to see if we were actually worthy, for lack of a better term, of actually using this juggernaut, as he calls it. So I now have access to a bigger ship, which I didn't have to take through legal boarding action, or legal salvage, I guess is the official term, nor did I have to pay for, to the extent of that I need to actually arm the thing, and that takes a large amount of credits, which I had originally planned on acquiring in between episodes, and like every other time I plan on playing this in between episodes, I plumb forgot. So basically, right where I left off last episode is right where I'm picking it back up at. And with that stated, this game is of course made by... Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Right, so here we are. This is us. This is our ship. This is not the Juggernaut, as it's called. This is our Dreadnought. I'm not using the Juggernaut because, again, I need to purchase turrets for it, and I don't have that kind of cash because it's, I believe, 1.2 million per turret, and I need to buy like a good 24 of them, so I need like around 100 million credits, as the local currency is called, and I just don't have that in the bank. Now, I had stopped last episode with access to a free mission, which should have netted me extra cash, but it doesn't look like the mission survived the save and reload, so I don't have access to it anymore. But there is a fleet battle going on at this research center, and
engaging sublight.
In about 4 minutes and less than 20 seconds, the CWA with their 8 dreadnoughts, 9 cruisers, and a bunch of other things will be able to defeat my 1 carrier, 2 dreadnoughts, 4 battleships, and a bunch of other things, were it a case that I don't show up and help, and I'm on my way to, well, show up and help. And this is what I'm talking about. These are the in-space fleet battles. The more I win, the less fleet power this barracks, I believe, has, and once I whittle it down to a certain amount, it'll be easy to take. And if I don't fight these fleet battles, if memory serves, the fleet's power will actually increase at the garrison. So basically, it's fight this thing and make the area easier to take, or don't fight it and it becomes harder to take. And I'm assuming that the zones I need to control just basically wrap around, so it started here and then moves to here, and we'll be moving to here, and then to here, and then to here, and then eventually I take the planet. At least try to. Alright, so we've just entered the zone in question, and it's now 4 dreadnoughts, 5 cruisers, and 3 frigates versus 1 dreadnought, 1 battleship. I also have less than 2 minutes to, well, I had less than 2 minutes to decide the fate of this battle, but we're here now, and I brought my fleet, so we now outpower them. Behold, reinforcements have arrived.
Firing at will.
Which one's real? That guy's dead.
Enemy down.
If you had any brains, that head of yours, you wouldn't have.
Also losing the starboard shield, so let's start boosting that. Starboard shield is completely gone. Cloak the vessel.
Port shield is at half capacity.
All the shields are down.
Front shield is at 50%.
That's what I get for flying into the middle of a massive enemy fleet and not waiting for my friends. My friends are now here. Launch the fighters. and somebody else died.
Defense shield initiated.
You cannot hide.
Yes, I can.
We're severely damaged.
Just out of curiosity, but right, they have full biometric shielding, so I can't actually.
Let's get this mother.
All right, jump to sublight
Engage sublight.
just to get out of range.
Defense shield initiated.
We're severely damaged.
Target neutralized.
Bring back up the tactical display. We are still in the middle of a fight, even if I'm off to the edge of said fight.
We're getting dangerously beaten up.
I think I lost somebody.
Front shield down to 25%, Captain. Cloaking field charging up.
Alright, let's boost the shields and repair the vessel again.
Energy shields reinitialized.
You won't take us alive.
Not looking to take you guys
Target
alive.
destroyed.
Plus side, I think that's it. So we won the fleet battle. Let's recall the fighters. Right, and my fleet is still 7 carriers and 3 cruisers, so it looks like I actually lost a cruiser or 2 because I used to be at like 440,000 fleet power and it's now at 475. I really need to read more. At least that's the command points. The actual fleet power is 51,668. So
Course set.
let's head to the
Affirmative. Engage
X-Arc
sublight.
Raw HQ Freeport Station, just simply because it's, well, right nearby. We can rearm and repair, and the approximate fleet power for this garrison, now that I won the fleet battle, is now at 37,500, and another fleet battle has occurred.
We're entering hostile territory, Captain.
We've been in hostile territory.
Fly
What else
freely,
is new?
Captain. The station reads you.
Cool. So let's dock at this friendly neutral station. For no other reason, so that way I can, you know, sell off all the random stuff I picked up and would say rearm and repair, but apparently I don't need to either rearm or repair. Now I do also have access to the garage where all my personal ships are kept, including the Juggernaut in question. Now one thought that I had was to switch just to simply switch to the Juggernaut, even though I don't have enough resources to actually you know, purchase all the turrets, but just purchase as much as I can, and then as I gain more cash, just basically keep adding on more turrets. I mean, it's 3,000, oh yeah, 350,000 hull compared to, you know, 160,000 hull. So basically I have over twice the hull points or HP that my current dreadnought has. Also twice the cargo space. And what will eventually be actually just the same amount of turrets on the left and right sides. A fair bit number on the front of the vessel, and about the same on the back. So Although it's able to carry quite a bit more in terms of heavy battery ammo. I don't want to sell it. I'm gonna go to loadout and unmount everything. Now I'll worry about the enhancements later. Mostly because I'm fairly certain I don't actually have the funds to buy up as many some turrets for the Juggernaut, and upgrade everything here. What I can do to make, I guess, a small amount of cash is to sell off the turrets on the Juggernaut. Probably a bad idea if I ever actually have to go back to the Juggernaut. Not Juggernaut, the Dreadnought. But it is one way to get a little bit extra cash, even though it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could go back through and strip out every turret on every ship I have in my garage, but again, that requires effort, timing, patience, and I just don't care. Alright, so we now have the Juggernaut, and first thing we need to do is change the ship name, because I don't feel like calling it the Juggernaut, and I've been theming all of my ships after baked goods. So it needs a proud name, a strong name, a name to strike fear into the hearts of enemies. Yes, I say that too. Cheesecake it is. Alright, now I need to, well, mount all my weapons onto the cheesecake, and it was plasma cannons on the bow facing, beam weapons on the port and starboard, and wheel guns on the back, because that's generally how I like to set up my ships. And the heavy weapons basically match the light weapons. And I only have one fighter right now, so that gets mounted. Don't think, actually no, they do sell extra fighters, but not very many. In fact, they're all fighters as well. So I worry about extra fighters when, I don't have to worry about anything else. So yeah, it's 2.5 million per turret, and I have basically 30 million, so I can get 6 turrets total. I'm going to buy the maximum. Actually, no, I can buy the maximum. That's interesting. It's 25 million per side, so let me just break out the trusty calculator real quick. Alright, so I can get a total of 12 turrets for 30 million. That's basically 3 turrets a side. There we go, and I have just shy of 2 million left. So right now I'm actually well under armed compared to my Dreadnought, but no, I'll eventually get there. Hopefully, kind of, sort-ish, probably. And just reload all the heavy weapon ammo, and because when you mount new heavy weapons, you have to buy the ammo separately. Alright, and should be good to go. So let's leave. And this thing is massive, very, very massive. much so that I need to zoom the camera out once I figure out how to do that again. Ah, wrong add and subtract. Got it. Alright, so here we are. The ship moves like it's, well, swimming through molasses, I guess, for lack of a better term, and I'm beginning to understand why in ship-to-ship combat most capital vessels just basically stop and don't actually go anywhere. But new ship, big ship, and we got less than 3 minutes to get back to where we were fighting. Otherwise, the zone control area becomes, well, stronger against us. And here we are, back at the fight.
Hostile region entered.
And because this is a set-piece battle, I can't actually... I would say I can't transport troops over, but no, I'm actually out of range. Although they still have biometric shielding, so can't do that. Launch the fighters. Alright, this thing's so big I can't even see the weapons fire. It also turns like it's flying in a straight line. So, on the plus side, unlike the last battle, I haven't actually instantly lost my shields and half my ship's health, so that's a plus, I guess. To be fair, I also flew into the enemy fleet without my fleet showing up, and my fleet is here now, so... Frigate's now dead, as is that gunship. Ooh, a dreadnought. Flying away from it, aren't we?
Initiating sublight.
Man, this thing takes forever to get anywhere. But it's a big, massive ship. What am I expecting? I think fairly soon I'm now literally flying circles around this thing.
By all that is right, avenge me!
Enemy down.
Being hit with special weapons will do that, and you're now dead. So, moot point. This is that one.
Get to the pods!
And that one. So it looks like there's only one cruiser left. Let's just recall the fighters while I'm still thinking about it. And they're returning to be refueled anyway.
Target eliminated.
And it's dead, and we auto-captured the zone. Just because we wiped out the barracks fleet power so badly, and they just up and gave up. So the next, I guess, storyline mission area I have to go to is going to be right here.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
But let's not fly in just some random direction and actually head to the enemy battle, and my fighters are still returning, so let's actually wait for them. Oh look, they've arrived.
Initiating sublight.
And it takes forever sublight engines to turn on. And it sounds like that there is now another fleet battle going on, probably in the next, well, area. It's just fleet battle after fleet battle with these people, isn't it? I mean, I gotta go there next anyway, so okay. Alright, and here we are at the fleet battle.
Captain, our sensors show that the nearby hostile ships are lackeys of a criminal with a bounty on their life.
I mean, okay, I'll deal with them after this. Maybe, hopefully, kind of, sort of, ish, probably, but most likely not.
We'll drink some hogwash in heaven.
Why does it say hack? Oh, can apparently hack us nearby satellite.
All tanks report fires and casualties.
Enemy down.
Alright, so that updates the zone data, although I'm fairly certain I can see everything in the zone anyway, so kind of a moot point.
All wings launch as soon as ready.
Ma? Pa? Is that you, Fluffy?
Something blew up.
Reports of extensive damage to all decks.
Mom? Pa? Is that you, Fluffy?
Now, apparently a lot of people have
Target
pets named
is down.
Fluffy. Anyway, one dreadnought dead.
I almost didn't see your bigger ship.
Titans, kind of hard to miss.
We'll take some hogwash in heaven.
I think it's going to be a pain in the butt to fly around in an asteroid field, isn't it? Fortunately, the camera focus that focuses on target always puts my ship in between the camera and the target, so given the massive bulk of the ship I'm currently flying, it's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on. Unless the battle's been lasting for so long that the background music actually stopped.
Move into strike.
You won't take us alive!
Momentarily, a mining beam can set us off.
You paid for this for us! I'll make sure...
Now, on the plus side, my shields haven't really taken much in the way of any kind of hit.
I'll go out with a bag!
Alright, that one's now dead. Let's keep firing off the heavy weapons.
So, think you can take me on?
Angle the ship so that way, what few turrets I do have can actually shoot the thing.
Reports of excessive damage through all decks.
Oh yes, being whaled upon will do that. Another one bites the dust. And there goes another dreadnought. dead. That dreadnought's almost dead. Well, that the one at 2% was almost dead. This one's now half dead. That's now completely gone. There's what, 6 enemy vessels left now?
Reports of excessive damage through all decks.
Target eliminated.
Some of them, I think, on the smaller side.
There's no true end.
They're actually all on the smaller side.
Stay right there, bruh. I'm coming.
I say that as I find the last dreadnought. Alright, recall the fighters just simply because even the game's combat music had stopped. Because I'm that far away and this thing moves, well, slow. Alright, and there we go. Didn't actually lose any ships this time. And the fleet power at this barracks is now 62,500.
Engaging sublight.
Let's actually go here real quick. I'm curious. One thing that I'm curious about is the number of Marines on the vessel? Almost couldn't think of what I wanted to say. And I would like to know exactly how many Marines there are, but I didn't stop to look that up while still in dry dock, and normally I'd find out just by sending them off to a different vessel, and apparently another fleet battle has started right here.
Is that you, Fluffy?
But unfortunately, with these scripted fleet battles, everybody has a biometric shield, so I can't exactly send troops over. I was hoping just to find random enemy vessels in the middle of the asteroid field, and basically try boarding those, but
Abandoned ship! Abandoned ship!
this thing moves so slowly, another fleet battle had occurred before I could actually leave the area. Oh, everybody's wheeling away at somebody. I mean, the energy bar for the back turrets is draining, or at least remaining steady, which means that they're being used. But my target's directly in front of me, so unless the railguns on the dreadnought can shoot clean through the vessel that they're attached to without damaging it, they're shooting at something else. Alright, who's next? this cruiser. Or this dreadnought. This dreadnought would probably be better.
Enemy down.
We're severely damaged.
Abandon ship! Abandon ship!
Apparently I'm directly over top of it or underneath of it, or the space is a three-dimensional thingy, so
Your explosion will light the skies.
probably.
Good killing the show.
But you exploded before I did.
Hostile target.
So what's that
eliminated.
say? I think the less speed I'm going for, the easier it is to turn, but
Can't scrape the rust off my ship.
it does mean that the slower it takes to actually get there. Well, anywhere. Because I think that's the case. Watch it not actually be the case, but it seems like it, and for now, that's enough for me. Alright, so let's actually go after this dreadnought, because it's the biggest of the enemy vessels currently on the field, as far as I can tell.
Reports of excessive damage through all decks.
Target eliminated.
And it goes a couple more.
I'll haunt your corpse, Kern.
Yeah, probably.
I'll make you pay for this.
Alright, and I'm fairly certain that's it. Once again. Didn't even need the fighters for it, so
Engaging
let's actually
satellite.
get out of here before more show up. And the fleet power is now at 50,000, so I'm guessing 2 more, and much like the past zone, this one just instantly falls. Then all I got left is 2 more to worry about. Although one of them does involve a planet. Alright, so I got 67 Marines to do stuff with. As they basically just pillage this resource collector. Apparently another battle starts, well, right back where I was.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Alright, so let's get back there before, well, my fleet power loses. Well, my fleets lose. Now, I'm not even technically certain my fleet actually left. So let's deploy the fighters.
Is that you, Fluffy?
There goes that gunship.
I'll go out with a bang.
You won't take us alive!
I wasn't looking for it to do so.
I'll make you pay for this!
All stations, breach.
No, I did kind of hope that I would come across a bunch of vessels I could send my boarding marines up
Target
against,
destroyed.
just so that way I could capture them and sell them for cash. But if I'm just constantly fighting the same fleet battle over and over and over again, something tells me I'm not going to be able to do that. I mean, it'd be nice if I could just send boarding troops over to here, but you know, storyline ships instantly have biometric shielding, so not going to happen. Let's just use every special weapon except the cloak. And just for fun, let's
Engaging
actually
cloak.
cloak the vessel, just for no reason.
All weapons fire at will.
Other than because I can.
Mom? Mom? Is that you, Fluffy?
Target eliminated.
Alright, so I forget what the range on my light turrets are, but I'm fairly certain it is around 5,000 measurement units.
Run!
Of course, it looks like they're actually shooting this dreadnought, so it's the one directly in front. Or, you know, they could actually be just shooting both. Now, there's no law that every turret has to fire upon one target at a time. As near as I can tell, that isn't the case. Alright, so clearly I'm bumping into somebody. Because my ship is getting knocked around relatively quickly, and
Hogwash in heaven.
no, it doesn't normally move that quickly.
Target neutralized.
Because I think it's just like bouncing off of the various derelicts that we've made.
I'll see you when you
And that dreadnought's now dead. And we've basically blown up its corpse.
We destroyed an enemy target.
Cool. Next one. I don't know how big this thing is compared to the Proxima. I'm thinking the Proxima is still bigger, although the Proxima I think is wider as opposed to not as long.
Do you think you can stand against us?
Target is down.
Reports of excessive damage through all decks.
How hard does course cut?
Probably. Of course, you'd have to get in line with everybody else I've taken out. There appears to be 2 ships left, 1 frigate and something I can't really see. Like I'm supposed to target the closest enemy vessel. I mean, it technically was. I was gonna say, it's like I was trying to target the closest enemy vessel, and it's like over 17,000 measurement units away.
I'll go out with a bang.
Alright, so you're gone, and everybody's gone.
Affirmative. Engage sublight.
Alright, now it was mentioned either around here or here, I think it was actually mentioned around here, that there's apparently a bounty available. So with all this fighting, I've made 8.3 million, and I started with 2. That's enough to get 3 more turrets. And fleet power is now down to 37,500. I could probably just straight up take the forward operating post at this point. Probably. As another battle occurs.
Engaging sublight.
And I forgot to recall the fighters anyway, so let's head back.
It's been a hell of a ride.
Target eliminated.
I'll go out with a bang.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure we all will.
We'll drink some hogwash in heaven. Should we continue this?
I don't know. Apparently it's the way to take the zone, so, you know, if that person asking if we should continue was on my side, I'd say yes. If they were the enemy, I'd say no.
The ship's practically falling apart.
And whose fault is that? The person who got shot or the person doing the shooting? Arguably, probably the person doing the shooting, but this is war, and that happens. As something explodes, as another thing explodes.
I can do this all day.
So can I, at least until I run out of ammo. And it goes away.
Target destroyed.
No good here, fresh dreadnought.
Ship severely damaged. We're venting plasma.
I'm sure you were.
Almost all systems down. Negative.
Ma? Ma? Is that you, Fluffy?
Target destroyed.
So, think you can take me
Okay, I
on?
mean, not my target. My target's still at 93% health.
I'll haunt your corpse, cuz
Unless the first officer was talking about the ship I just blew up. Okay, so that would make much more sense. Once again, we're so far away, the tactical display goes away.
Can't take this much damage.
Prepare the escape pod. We're going
That
down.
one's gone. All that's left is a gunship
Target destroyed.
versus... Actually, no, it looks like 2 gunships probably. There's that little fleet power left and 2 enemy vessels. Of course, now that one's dead. So, a lone gunship against, well, all of this. Now, let's recall the fighters before I forget again.
Hostile target eliminated.
And we fight so many of these battles, we actually capture the zone. Goody. Oh, look, there's actually a T-gate here. Interesting. Now, this is interesting. The next main mission is right at this corner here, so I don't know if it's going to be a storyline one, another fleet battle, or... if it is a fleet battle, does it drop the fleet power for this zone or this zone? But either way, we take another zone, so don't have to worry about that. Although it looks like, if I bring up the tactical display, I'm running low on heavy weapon ammo, and I know that the magazines on the Titan class vessel are like 2 to 3 times the amount on the Dreadnought, so that should make you wonder what exactly, how many I've basically fought through. And another fleet battle has occurred, and truth be told, I just don't feel like fighting this one, because I fought 6 of them just now, and it's basically the same thing over and over and over again, so I might let the AI fight this one out. Now, I don't know, since this is for a new zone, if my ships lose, and they probably will given the discrepancy in fleet power, do they restart recapturing this zone and then start building it back up, or does the fleet power for this thing just increase? And then I have to fight more of these later, just to bring it back down. But all of that's going to be another issue for another time, because I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.